go. Hey, what are we talking about today? Rookies versus pros. 3 simple steps that can take you from performing like a rookie to earning like a pro. Some of you guys are wondering, so what does that mean to earn like a pro? There are people in your same role, whether you're an account manager, account executive, and you're watching online, who made over $200K last year at this company. Just want y'all to know that. Some over that, some did over 300. That's the professional level of this job. So before I dig into the content, I just want to leave y'all with that. If you're one of the people who can, like, realistically speaking, you have that kind of ambition, you want to make over 200K in 2024. If that's you, let me hear you say, that's me. That's me. Let's freaking go. So I heard a quote yesterday at church from Pastor Rich Wilkerson, and I recycled it. Here's what it says. Your time in your role doesn't determine how successful you are. However, your routines will. However, your routines will. What does that mean? So many of us in this room have been here for less than 6 months. Your length of time that you've had in this job does not define how successful you're going to be this quarter, for better or for worse. It works both ways. If you've been here for a year, it doesn't define how successful you're going to be this quarter. We've seen people come in their first, 2, 3, 4 months, do well over 100K, some over 200K, some over 300. Your time in your role doesn't determine how successful you will be. That's the good news. However, that's a big however, it's a big H, your routines will. I think the first piece that we all got to do for ourselves is acknowledge who you are today. When? Today. Oh, you guys are sleeping. When? Today. That's right. Acknowledge who you are today. Are you a rookie or are you a pro? We're going to talk about some of the differences really quick. First things, rookies are random in terms of their daily activity. What they do each day is pretty random, right? Depending on what email they get, depending on who picks up a call, kind of determines what they do that particular day. That's what a rookie does. They're very random in their activity, okay? A pro has a process. Professionals have a process. Process-driven activity get you predictable results. Process-driven activity gets you predictable results. If you'd like predictable results, let me hear you say, I do. I do. Okay, so I'm in the right freaking room. So, let me give you an example. I had a manager come up to me, I want to say last week. It's like in a one-on-one. This guy was hyping me up, and it felt good, but I'm like, dude, you got to stop hyping me up so much. He goes, Dwayne, you don't understand. It's like a different company over here in your organization. I know there's multiple orgs inside this big company, but it's like I work at a different place. It's amazing. You don't understand. This is so much fun. It feels like almost a different job. And everywhere you go, you just had so much success. I'm like, bro, you got to stop hyping me up, bro. This is bad for my mental health. You know what I mean? Like, too much. It's like, dude, you just had so much success. I've seen you build up your last org in RFT to be the number one, and then before that, you did little KMME, you did another organization. You were so successful. I just don't understand. Like, what is it that's different? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, man, first of all, it's not me. I got a lot of talented people around me. But the biggest difference, is my process. And you guys know this on the room, maybe not online. I'm a hyperactive, wild guy. It's likely you've seen me barking, literally, barking around the sales floor. I'm a psycho. I'll acknowledge that. I'll just bark like a freaking dog. But while I am ADD wild man, at the same time, I'm very process driven. And I think the biggest difference between this org and this room, some of the reasons we've had success is, in other places, they look at their pipeline, they look at where they are for the quarter, and they go back and tell their teams, you guys need to go find me more ops. Where's my ops? Where are my ops? Go find me more ops. Where's my ops? That's what they go. That's their answer to the problem, is to go and beat up reps for ops. We need pipeline. Hey, where's my ops? I don't think that's very helpful. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's not very helpful. What's helpful is having a process that gets you predictable results. If you're random, you're going to get random results. That's freaking right. Another thing that professionals realize is the obstacle is the way. The what? The obstacle is the way. Ooh, that's good. The obstacle is the way. Sometimes the answer to your prayers is the biggest challenge you've got on your plate. What does that mean? How many of you guys wrote down a goal that you want to hit this quarter? Okay, a lot of you guys, okay? What you need to realize is in order to get to that goal, it requires breaking through some of your biggest challenges, okay? The obstacle is the way. What does that mean? You know what pros do? They've got accounts who got big issues. But anybody who's done this job for any significant amount of time, the biggest money, the biggest deals you're ever gonna make are the people you solve the biggest problems for. The people whose accounts were on freaking fire. And then you come and you save the day. The people who you solve problems for will quickly grow to be your biggest fans and be the first to sign deals with you. But you know what rookies do? They see a problem in their book. You know what they do? I'll respond to that guy later, right? We go around the issue. I'm here to tell you, if you want to get to that goal, the obstacle is the freaking way there. You get on the phone, you address the issue. Next, so now we've talked about who are you today? Are you a rookie or a pro? Right? We talked about some of the difference. Are you random? Do you have a process? What next? You need to define your process and commit, right? If pros are process driven, if you're going to be process driven, you got to know what your process is. Define your process and commit to it. Your company's KPI, right? Whether you're watching this online, whether you're in the room, your company's KPIs that they've put in place for you that you've got to hit is the minimum effort required to be employed. Is that crazy to think about? That's the minimum effort required to remain employed, right? So if you think doing the minimum is going to get you where you want to go, you're wildly confused and you're a rookie. When I use the term rookie, I don't mean the time you've had in your job. I mean in terms of how successful you are. You're a freaking rook. So you've got to start tracking the numbers for yourself. I can give you KPIs all day long, but you know what it feels like? And I know this because I did your job before. Anytime somebody comes up with a new KPI, it's like, oh, another thing to do. Another thing I got to do now. If you continue to look at the KPIs and the metrics as, oh, this is just something to do, you're going to miss the freaking boat. You're going to miss the boat. Last but not least, prepare to win. How will you handle success? You know what rookies do? After they get a win, let's say, you finally opened a profit field. You got that 100K deal in the pipeline. And you're like, yeah. You know what you start doing? You start, monitoring, over-analyzing every interaction with that customer, reviewing that email, asking your friends, what do you think about this message, Just like obsessing over that deal, right? You get that one opportunity you've been waiting for. You get a glimpse of success. You haven't even closed it. You get a glimpse of success. How do you handle that glimpse of success? Do you abandon what got you that profit field, which was a meeting, by the way? Do you abandon that process and now focus on just interacting with that customer and just doing the bare minimum? Or are you just random? Do you just abandon your process? Here's what the pros do. After they close 130K, after they close 150K, they've got a process that they do, whether they win or they lose. I'm doing X number of meetings this week, no matter what happens, whether I'm working a huge profit field or I'm doing something else. How else do you think a Fabian can close $1 million quarters more than one time, back to back, in the same year? You think it's random? You think he's lucky? I think not. I think if there's people in this room who are deadly committed, you got to be real with yourself, to earning 200K this year, you got to start asking yourself these questions and being honest with yourself. Don't hype yourself up. Be real. And then decide what the heck you're going to do about it. Right? You get to decide today, hey, I'm going to take this job. It's like I said, something I check into, check out just to earn a regular paycheck. I don't need a lot of money to survive. If you're one of these people, I don't need a lot of money. I don't need to earn that much. Dude, I can get you a job in marketing, okay? But this ain't the room for you. This is the room for people who are hungry, ambitious, driven to make more for their family, more for whoever they have in their lives. If that's you, you've got to start asking yourself these questions. Begin your masterpiece. You guys remember that whole talk I did on Michelangelo? Nothing great happens. Nobody does anything great 9 to 5. You've got to determine, what am I willing to do to get it? Am I willing to go above and beyond the KPIs? Am I willing to not go and laugh it out with my friends when I really need to find out what my percentage of accounts with decision makers are in my book? A lot of us don't know that yet. A lot of us haven't even looked at that. Rookies abandon their routines after a win. Professionals double down on their process. The only thing more dangerous than failure is success. Man, you know what it's like? Getting so close to being that 400K rep. There's only so few of those. To be in that 400K rep, but you know what happens after you close that one big deal? Subconsciously. You don't mean to do it, but you've abandoned your process. You just sit back. People I've seen just hit huge numbers early on, and they never eclipse that 300, 400 range. You know how many people I've seen open that one nice profit field that you've been waiting on forever, and it finally opened, you got the sheet back, they love the product, things are moving smooth, and then they just abandon the process, and all they have is that one op in their pipeline at the end of the quarter? I've seen it happen over and over again. Some of you guys probably feel like I'm talking to you. I'm not. I'm talking to because it's that common, right? You find that one deal and you abandon the process. You stop booking meetings. You stop caring. I'm here to tell you, only thing more dangerous than failure is success. Plan to freaking win. How are you going to react when you win? Define your process. Double down on it. Don't wait for them to tell you, hey, how many meetings you're averaging each week. You should know for your freaking self. If we can get to that next professional level, the money you're going to make will wreck your freaking brain. Your parents, the people around you can be like, yo, what are you doing? Can I get hired over there? I want a lifestyle that you have. Here's what they don't know. A lot of people can get hired here, but not everybody's gonna make that money that you wanna make. Average salespeople make average money, and I don't think that's what you want in this room. Let's freaking get after it. If you're ready, let me hear you say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's go.